Hey kids, welcome to section 8.3, purchasing a used vehicle. Today we're going to learn how to calculate the average retail price or the wholesale price of a used vehicle. The big question for today is, why do you think people buy used vehicles? Well, some people buy used vehicles because they can't afford brand new vehicles. Some people buy used vehicles because it's their first car and they're not going to spend a ton of money on it because they just want the first car. Um, so there are lots of different reasons why people buy used vehicles. So some vocab for today: dealers must display a buyer's guide sticker in the window of a used vehicle for sale, just like a new vehicle. And dealers usually advertise used vehicles for prices that are higher than they expect you to pay. They expect you to do some negotiations. A used vehicle guide gives the average prices for used vehicles. And this used vehicle guide is published monthly, and it gives the average prices for used vehicles that were purchased from dealers during the previous month. Um, there is there are tons of used vehicle guides out there. One of them is called Kelley Blue Book. Another one is called um, or CarMax. So there are different ones. The National Automobile Dealers Association, or the NADA, and the Vehicle Market Research (VMR) guides are published monthly and give the average prices for vehicles that were purchased during the previous month. Information from websites such as Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds can help you decide how much to pay for a used vehicle. A merchant makes a retail sale directly to the customer, and the merchants buy at a wholesale price. So basically, if you want, you can either buy a used vehicle, or sometimes you can trade in your used vehicle towards the purchase of a new vehicle. So they'll kind of take that as a trade in, and then they'll take some money off of the price. So to find your average retail price, you're going to take the average retail value, you're going to add any additional options in, you're going to subtract any option deductions, and then you're going to subtract for any mileage deductions. Now we are going to use a table that gives us some of the features that you might get on a used vehicle. Um, this is not the only thing. Remember, the used car guides are purchased every month, so we're going to go off of this sheet. This is going to tell us the different values for a V6 four-door and a V8 four-door. We can look either at average retail price or average wholesale value. Remember, wholesale value is what the dealers pay to the actual car manufacturers, and then the retail price is how much they charge you. So there are a couple different adjustments for retail or wholesale. If you don't have air conditioning, you actually get to subtract money off. If you don't have automatic transmission, but instead you have manual transmission, you also get to deduct off some money from the price. And then here's the features that you're going to add. If you have a DVD player, you're going to add power windows, leather seats, front bucket seats, power sunroof, and aluminum wheels. Again, this is just a handful of features that we're going to work with. Then you also get to make some deductions based on mileage. So depending on how many miles are already on the car, we're going to be able to deduct some money on it for the wear and tear. So you're going to want to have this chart, which is in your notes or on Google Classroom, in order for you to be able to continue. So let's take a look at some of the examples. Example number 1, Karen Demeline wants to purchase a 4-year-old Palomino V8 four-door sedan with an average retail price of $16,450. It has a DVD player, power mirrors, and a power sunroof, but no air conditioning. It has been driven 51,760 miles. Find the average retail price. Okay, so the average retail price is $16,450. It has a DVD player. So for a DVD player, we're going to add $540. Then it has power mirrors. So for power mirrors, we're going to add $250. Then it has a power sunroof. So power sunroof, we're going to add 475. And it has no air conditioning. So if we have no air conditioning, we're going to deduct 850. And then finally, it's been driven 51,760 miles. So 51,760 miles would be in this second category. So we're going to deduct $675 from the price. If I do all this math, I get an average retail price of $16,190. So that's still a fairly new used vehicle. I mean, you can get used vehicles for a couple $100 or a couple $1,000. Just depends on how nice of a used vehicle it is. Okay, example number 2, find the average wholesale price for a 4-year-old V8 four-door that has no air conditioning but does have a DVD player and power sunroof, and it has 63,580 miles. Okay, so I need a wholesale for a V8. So here's V8 wholesale. I'm going to start with $13,270. It has no air conditioning. So if it does not have any air conditioning, we're going to deduct 850. It does have a DVD player, so we're going to add 540. It has a power sunroof, so I'm going to add 475. And then finally, it has 63,580 miles. That's going to be in this third category, so I get to deduct $1,225. If I do all of this, I get an average wholesale price of $11,670. Okay, number 3, the ad reads $725 or best offer. If your offer of $580 is accepted, how much money will you save? Well, they're asking $725. You're offering $580. If you subtract them, you're going to save $145. Remember, car dealers and pricing are so up and down. You could go and see a car one day and it be a certain price, and you could see a car, the same car, the next day and it could be a different price. So you definitely want to shop around. You don't just want to buy the first car you see. Okay, example number 4, find the average retail price for a 4-year-old V6 four-door sedan with air conditioning, power windows, leather seats, power sunroof, and aluminum wheels. It has been driven 42,510 miles. So I need average retail price with a V6. So here's a V6, average retail price is 15,500. It has air conditioning, so I don't have to worry about any deduction for that. It has power mirrors, so power mirrors add 250. Then it has leather seats, so I'm going to add for leather seats 240. Then it has a power sunroof, so I'm going to add the power sunroof, which is 475. And it has aluminum wheels, so for adding aluminum wheels, which is 120. And then let's look at the mileage, 42,000. That's going to give us a deduction of 175. So after doing all this math, we get a average retail price of 16,410 bucks. Which again is a pretty expensive used vehicle, but you can get really good used vehicles. In fact, the last vehicle that I purchased was 1 year old, and so it was used, but not very used. So you can get, cars that are 30 years old, or you can get cars that are 2 years old. Okay, last example, number 5, compare the average wholesale values for each 4-year-old sedan. Which car is cheaper and how much cheaper? So these are wholesale values. So we're going to do the two cars separately and then we'll see what we get. So car A is a V8 four-door and we're looking at wholesale. So V8 four-door wholesale, 13,270. It has air conditioning, so I don't have to worry about any deduction. It has manual transmission, so I get to deduct manual transmission of 650. Then it has a DVD player, so for a DVD player I get to add 540. It has leather seats, so I'm going to add leather seats for 240. And then the mileage is 75,000. So I'm going to deduct $1,775. If I do all of this math, I get $15,030. Now let's go to car B. This is a V6 four-door. Again, we're looking at wholesale prices. So we're going to start with a dollar amount of $13,100. It has no air conditioning, so I'm deducting without air conditioning $850. It has automatic transmission, so I don't have to worry about any deduction there. It has a power sunroof. So power sunroof, I'm going to add 475. It has aluminum wheels. So I'm going to add aluminum wheels at 120. And then mileage is 65,000. So that's going to give us a deduction of $1,225. If I do this math, I get a total of 11,620. So it looks like car B is cheaper. And then it says how much cheaper. So let's subtract the prices. 15,030 minus 11,620. That gives us a difference of $3,410. All right, so as you can see, there are lots of variations on used vehicles. And we're going to use one specific chart, which was taken at one specific time in order to calculate the used vehicle prices. All right, kids, if you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, keep calm and keep trucking.